Going on, party people? We're back with some more Babymonochrome action. This is a round 7 losers bracket match between CalmMind75 and Ambipongus. This is actually a rematch. These two met in the winners bracket not too long ago. Coverage for that match is already on the YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. Now, before I get into this epic matchup here, I do want to promote something here. So today, this match we're going to be going over is the Gen 5 Little Cup match. Gen 5 Little Cup, as of today, is being featured on the Ruins of Elf Spotlight. Yeah. Well, that's Gen 2 Ubers. It's Gen 5 Little Cup right there. So, hope to see you on the ladder there. I know I'm going to be on the ladder trying that one out. Really excited for that. There's a community vote for that, and Little Cup got the win. So, there you go. Lots of Gen 5 Little Cup action on this channel as well if you do want to brush up and see kind of what's popular in the meta and all that. So, anyways, back to this. So, yeah. Round 7, losers bracket. One of these two players is going to get eliminated after this one, so we'll see how it goes. Let's start things off here. So CalmMind75 bringing a pretty fat-looking team. Well, a pretty balanced team, I'd say. Looks like CalmMind75 is bringing sand. We'll have to wait and see. We have seen Sheer Force Hippo not too long ago, but just looking at the team, I'm kind of thinking this is going to end up being sand, just considering... You got a couple Pokemon there that are immune to the sand, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so anyways, Mindfu, Omnimite. I could see this being a sweeping Omnimite, to be honest, and Hippo having rocks, so let's assume. Bronzor, which has sweeping potential in its... It can sweep. So yeah, it's in except Calm Minds. It can rest, talk, and then run some kind of attacking move. Either Psychic or Flash Cannon either look like they'd be pretty good in this matchup against Ambipongus. A Ghastly and a Porygon, which is going to do Porygon things, I'm sure. Ambipongus also bringing a pretty fat-looking team. Or I should say a pretty balanced-looking team, honestly. Both players bring balance to this one here. You got an Abra, a Mindfu. You have a Bidoof. I'm thinking that thing sets up Toxic Spikes. I think this is also the first time I've seen Bidoof in... this tour, so I think so. I think at least, anyways. Pretty sure it does similar things to what its evolution does. You know, Toxic Spikes maybe gets Sleep Powder. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Porygon, a Diglett, which is going to do Diglett stuff. Quite a few Pokemon that don't want to get trapped by Diglett, mainly that Omnimite. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And a Frillish, which I also think is going to do pretty okay in this matchup. We'll have to wait and see. That Ghastly does threaten it, of course, with super effective Shadow Balls. Let's get into it here. Ghastly lead from CalmMind75. Mindfu lead from Ambipongus. Okay. Ghastly's going to get a big Sludge Bomb off. Is this Mindfu even running a Violet? I mean, it was a Life Orb. Ghastly, however, loses its Life Orb. Mindfu's going to get out of there. Maybe Scarf. Well, no, it's not Scarf. It didn't outspeed the Ghastly. Maybe that's just a hard-hitting Sludge Bomb. That wasn't a crit. I know that one was a crit just now. 2-hit KOing the Porygon. That's a pretty big hacksy moment. Porygon already going down here for Ambipongus. Diglett coming out here. It's going to Pursuit Trap the Ghastly, and that definitely is going to knock it out, especially since it's not a Violet. And it lost its item anyways, even if it was a Violet. Diglett converted to be Life Orbs. Yeah, no, that Ghastly was going down no matter what, I think. Porygon comes out on a Stealth Rock turn. Goes for the Tri-Attack, not packing the Ice Beam. The Ice Beam maybe would have gotten the KO there. It's going to take an Earthquake before being able to eliminate the Diglett with another Tri-Attack here. So there you go. 5-4 here for CalmMind75. Mindfu coming out. Gets a big U-turn off. Goes into Frillish as this Porygon just T-Waves. Okay. Bidoof wouldn't be bad there because I think it's Natural Cure Rate. Recovers up, gets fully paralyzed, of course. Mindfu coming out here for CalmMind75. Another full para. Wow. Okay, so CalmMind75 getting some good hacks early on in this one here. He turns on out of there and comes the Porygon. Traces the Cursed Body as this Frillish. Gets the Will-O-Wisp off. Okay, so Porygon status now. That's good. T-Wave maybe predicting a switch. Frillish actually stayed in. Oh, and just Will-O-Wisp. So, I mean, both players trying to punish a switch here. Porygon's looking like it's probably going to want to recover up, and that's exactly what happens. This Frillish gets fully paralyzed, so we're not going to find out what it was going to do. Frillish is going to take a Psychic, no drop. And Ambipongus is still trying to punish a switch. You really don't have anything, if you're CalmMind75, that wants to get burned at this point. So just staying in, spamming Psychic. No reason not to play this patiently if you're CalmMind75 at this point here. Also trying to punish a potential switch. And then the Scald gets disabled because of the Cursed Body that the Porygon traced. Recovers up here. Yeah, both players really trying to punish a switch here. Neither of them want to switch though. Oh, here we go. CalmMind75 going into Mindfu on a Will-O-Wisp. Okay, it was bound to happen. So good play by Ambipongus there, sticking to the game plan. No reason not to. Frillish is at full HP. It's disabled as well. Takes a knockoff, gets crit, and loses It's a Violet. It's going to be a little bit easier to deal with. Ambipongus still trying to punish a switch here. Doesn't really have another move to click in this situation. Maybe Scald. But I don't know if that thing was still Cursed Body by that point. Oh yeah, sorry, it was still disabled at that point, so kind of had to click Will-O-Wisp. I wonder what the long game here is for the Bidoof. The Bidoof still a big question mark to me here. Okay, Mindfu, you turning out of there. Here's the Porygon again, so we see this matchup yet again. Is the Frillish goes for the Recover. On to turn 20 here. Mindfu coming out. The Porygon clicks Psychic. Does a lot. But I do think this Mindfu is not a Violet still. And part of me thinks that's running some other item. Here's the Hippo. On the high jump kick, miss. Okay, another fortunate turn there for CalmMind75. This Hippo's going to get threatened by the Bidoof here. Here's the Bronzor, which should be able to take it on quite well. Oh, sets up a Spike. Okay, so you got some late game hazards here. Which might help that Abra out with punching a hole through something. Here's the Bronzor setting up a Calm Mind. Oh, you gotta find some way to spook this thing out. I don't think you can, really, at this point. Sets up a second one as this Frillish gets the burn off. Okay, but this thing's probably got Rest. I don't know. Ambipongus might be running out of options here. Frillish not taking Psychics well either without that Violet. No drop on the Shadow Ball or crit, which is probably the thing they were really fishing for there. There's the Rest. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to see Sleep Talk pretty soon. Here's the Abra. So hopefully Ambipongus does some kind of support move to help deal with this thing. It sets up another Calm Mind. Maybe Encore or something from the Abra. We see a Shadow Ball, so again, fishing for a crit. Gets a drop at least. But, I don't know. This Bronzor looks like it's pretty set to get the W here. Pulls a Rest. It's going to wake up next turn. No crit on the next Shadow Ball. Wakes up. Gets the Psychic. Breaks a potential Sash on the Abra. Probably looking to rest next turn. Here's another Shadow Ball. No crit yet again. That's really what you're fishing for at this point. Knocks it out with another Psychic. And Bronzor's going to be able to outspeed the Frillish. Here's the Bidoof. Giga Drain. Yeah, it's not really going to do anything. It's going to drop to a Psychic. Surely, yep, and then the Frillish will drop as well. So, yeah, CalmMind75 taking game one with a very fitting Calm Mind sweep from a Bronzor here. Did get some fortunate luck throughout that one though, which happens. That is the game we play. And yeah, CalmMind75 up 1-0. Let's get around game two here. All right. Game 2, CalmMind75 up 1-0 here. Let's get into it here. Let's start with Ambipongus' team, bringing another creative Pokemon in this one with the Mankey. Hopefully this thing ends up doing a little bit more than we saw from the Bidoof in the last one here. I'm all for bringing in creative Pokemon, of course, but they gotta really be able to put in some work, if you know what I'm saying, right? But bringing an overall pretty offensive team, actually. You have the Drillbur there as well, which helps provide some rapid spin support too for some of the Volibee and the Snover as well. I should note that they're also bringing Hail to this one, so maybe Ambipongus saw the Sand matchup last time and wants a way to kind of counteract that a little bit. You also got the Porygon and the Ghastly, so an overall pretty offensive team. I'd expect at least one Choice Scarfer from Ambipongus in this one. We'll have to see how this ends up going. We'll see what else the Mankey is going to do too. What abilities does this thing get? Vital Spirit, Defiant. Okay, so we might see this thing, Vital Spirit, that prevents sleep, I think? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, CalmMind75 bringing the Carvanha here, also bringing a pretty offensive team, honestly. You had the Ferrothorn just looking to set up hazards and then just bop things along the way too. So we should see a much quicker game. We must see a very different game this time around. Also got the Mindfu, the Ghastly, the Omnimite, which is surely going to be a shell smashing one this time around. We didn't really get to see much from it last battle. And then an Abra as well, which is looking to do Abra things. I'm expecting a Focus Sash Abra this time around, but we'll have to wait and see. Boom, let's get into it. Carvanha lead from CalmMind75, okay, and the Snover lead from Ambipongus. Interesting lead situation, just getting its Hail up immediately. Clicks Protect on a Giga Drain. Maybe just want to see if the Snover would stay in. Maybe trying to see if that thing is Choice Scarf. It is definitely not, because it clicks Protect on the next turn. The Carvanha clicks Lightly. Hidden Power Fire here, so Ambipongus doing a bit of scouting themselves here. This Carvanha's hella fast now. Porygon comes in, traces that Speed Boost ability, actually. Takes the Hidden Power Fire quite well. And this is indeed a Life Orb Carvanha, as they often are. It's a +3 speed now. Gonna switch out. No need to go crazy with Carvanha this early. Brings up the Ferrothorn. Maybe looking to get a T-Wave off on something. Maybe just looking to set up rocks. Here's the Mankey, which is the recipient of the T-Wave here. And then gets out of there. In comes the Mindfu. What's this Mankey gonna do? Clicks U-turn. Gets a crit. That does quite a bit of damage here. Ghastly comes out. So why Mankey over Mindfu is the question. What's that thing going to bring to the table that Mindfu doesn't? Pharaoh Seed coming out here for CalmMind75. Takes a Will-O-Wisp. So that thing's burned. Didn't get chipped down along with the Hail, of course. And we saw Black Sludge on the Ghastly too. Don't want to ignore that. So that thing's probably looking to trick later on. Ferrothorn setting up a Spike. What's this Mankey going to do? Probably threatening a fighting move this time around. CalmMind75 okay to setting up rocks as this Mankey clicks Close Combat. And that just clean knocks that thing out. Takes some Iron Barbs. No item revealed from this Mankey yet either. Here's the Carvanha. And it outspeed... Oh yeah, it's paralyzed, I guess. Just going to knock that thing out with a Hydro Pump. What speed does that Mankey even hit? 17? Gets a speed boost. Here's the Porygon. Traces the speed boost yet again here. Hazard's really racking up there. Takes a Dark Pulse. Do we see a flinch? No, we don't. And is able to just knock that thing out with the Tri-Attack. So Ambipongus is tired of dealing with this gosh darn Carvanha. So Porygon's going to look to probably recover up soon. Here's the Mindfu. Do we see a Fake Out? No, we don't. We see a knockoff, though. Is that indicating a Choice Scarf Mindfu? I mean, I took that Psychic quite well. No, probably not. I was just thinking +1 Porygon there. Drops to the next one, though. CalmMind75 already down 3 Pokemon. They got a bunch of hazards up, though, and this Porygon's getting severely chipped. Here's the Ghastly. Kind of have to sack the Porygon at this point, except we can get off a big Psychic first. This Ghastly just knocks it out with the Sludge Bomb, but I think that Porygon put in a decent amount of work. A Ghastly chipped. Here's the Drillbur. Breaking the mold as well, so I was thinking fire off a big Earthquake here. Not Choice Scarfed, and a big Will-O-Wisp miss. So that Ghastly was going to drop either way, even if the burn landed, but yeah, you'd rather have that Drillbur burned if you can, because you could maybe pull the trigger on a Shell Smash sweep. Instead comes the Abra. Volibee switching in here on the Psychic. Okay. Switch up moves. Goes for the hidden power fighting, perhaps? And a Dark Pulse from this Volibee, bringing that down to a Sash. That's likely a nasty plot of Volibee. And Overcoat as well. Actually, is it Overcoat? Sorry, did that thing take hail damage? I was expecting it would have had a weak armor activated by now, but no. No, it's not Overcoat. Okay, my bad. I was like, if it's nasty plot, it's probably weak armor, right? So, yeah. Because Overcoat on Volibee in hail isn't that weird either. So, anyways, Volibee maybe predicting to protect. Ambipongus clicking Roost there. It's going to take another hidden power for fighting, rather. Gets a nasty plot off, so doesn't have to worry about a potential Shell Smash sweep from that Omnimite after inevitably knocking out this Abra, barring any kind of crit situation here. Goes for the Shadow Ball. Maybe fishing for a drop. Maybe expecting some kind of switch here. I don't know, though. I was probably fishing for a drop, if anything. Clicks it again. Doesn't get it. Volibee going for another one here, just to ensure that it gets the KO on the Omnimite. I think it has enough boost now. There's another hidden power fighting. Decides to knock that thing out. Okay. Now, what are we going to see from this Omnimite here? Volibee could be in range of an Ice Beam. Oh, just knocks out with the Dark Pulse. Okay, and what was that? Oh, it only hits 14. Okay, yeah, so... Ambipongus definitely knowing what they're doing there. And ties this thing up at 1. So we're going to a game 3 to decide this one. Let's get into it. Alright, here we go. Game 3. Ambipongus versus CalmMind75. Let's get into it here. So both players going back to balance for this one here. Or a more balanced structure. I'd say Ambipongus actually bringing more offense this time around here. Got both the Ferrothorn and the Natu as useful support Pokemon in this situation. If we end up seeing a CalmMind Natu this time around, we'll have to wait and see. Alongside those Pokemon. I mean, Ambipongus really doesn't want Hazards this time around because there's Staryu as well, which can Rapid Spin, and the Natu, which can also Magic Bounce some of those Hazards back. As CalmMind75 did bring a Ferroseed of their own as well. You've also got a Mindfu, a Diglett, and a Ghastly there to complete the team there. The little offensive quartet there. And the CalmMind75 rather. Yeah, also bringing a pretty balanced team. This one here, you see some similar offensive Pokemon that we saw in the last match too. Mainly bringing back Carvana yet again. You got Rapid Spin support in the Drillbur. Ferroseed, as I mentioned already, looking to set up Hazard, but I don't know. You got to play around both a Rapid Spinner and a Natu this time around. You got the Mindfu. I think I mentioned the Drillbur already. Yeah, provides Rapid Spin support for this team, which is nice. We've also got a Frillish and a Volibee. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of Pokemon that have put in some work in this match so far. Getting showcased here. Let's get into it. Okay, Carvana lead yet again from CalmMind75, and a Natu lead this time around for Ambipongus. Probably wanting to get out of there. In comes the Mindfu on the Dark Pulse as expected there. Just going to check, make sure I am on slow. Sorry, these days slow feels like hyper fast because I'm getting old. Gets a speed boost here. Then switches into the Frillish here, maybe afraid of a potential high jump kick. Mindfu does have Fake Out and then switches up and goes for the U-turn, gets out of there. In comes the Staryu to take the Shadow Ball that does quite a bit of damage actually. Gets a T-Wave off. Gets that Staryu really low with another Shadow Ball here. Recovers up. Going to fire a little bit there. Maybe trying to get a full para. Gets a drop instead, so Staryu is kind of pressured out here. In comes the Ferroseed for Ambipongus. Take the Will-O-Wisp. Here comes the Ferroseed for CalmMind75. Gets up Stealth Rocks. That is useful. Natu coming out here for Ambipongus. Ooh, and CalmMind75 likely predicting that goes into the Drillbur here as an opportunity to just potentially spin. Goes for it despite there being a Ghastly in the back there. Has to take a Psychic, which is fine. Goes for a big Rock Slide. Gets that Natu pretty low, actually. The U-turns on out of there. Drillbur, very, very strong Pokemon. Here's the Diglett, which is able to not revenge kill rather, but able to trap and eliminate that Drillbur. So no more rapid spinning from CalmMind75. That was the one time they're going to be able to get that off. Oh, and this Carvanha just drops. I don't really know what the game plan was there. Maybe a Protect? Or maybe trying to indicate, hey, I'm going to click Protect. You're surely going to want to switch out here. But Ambipongus calling the bluff and just going right for the Earthquake. Yeah, interesting sequence there. Okay. Mindfu coming out here for CalmMind75. It's Toxic off on this thing. Okay, so... yeah, and this Diglett loses its Life Orb. Interesting, Toxic Diglett. That's something you see too often. Here comes the Ghastly on the high jump kick. Okay, great play by Ambipongus there. And what's going to happen here? Pharaoh Seed coming out for CalmMind75. Oh, it's Ghastly setting up a sub. Okay. Shadow Ball off. This is Generation 5, so that Shadow Ball is resisted. This is indeed a Life Orb Ghastly. It's going to get its substitute broken by Bullet Seed here. So Natu getting in here. Maybe just in case they want to go for the T-Wave or something, or Hazards. Let's see what this Natu's packing here. Volibee coming out for CalmMind75. A Roost turn. Much needed Roost there for Ambipongus. Staryu coming out here. This is a Sack. Okay, so Rapid Spin support is now gone for Ambipongus. So you do have the Natu, so of course to help with all that. Ghastly coming out here. Pharaoh Seed switches in. Take the T-Bolts. Mindfu switching in here for Ambipongus. CalmMind75 maybe predicting that goes into the Volibee here, threatening a flying move, and then doubles into the Frillish on the fake out here. Here's the Volibee yet again on the U-turn. We do see the weak armor, of course. Pharaoh Seed switching in here. A little risky, because I don't think we've seen any moves. Oh, we have seen Dark Pulse. Yeah, so the thing is going to be packing the Heat Wave. Knock that thing out. I'm going to see if this is a special Volibee. It's surely packing the Heat Wave. Frillish coming in here on the Mindfu on a U-turn. So Ambipongus gaining some momentum here. Ghastly coming out. Maybe the Beta Shadow Ball brings the Mindfu back in. CalmMind75 brings in the Pharaoh Seed. Okay, that works too. Frillish switching right back in on a knockoff. I think it's going to lose its Eviolite. Crit U-turn does quite a bit. Natu comes out. Is this Frillish just going to recover? No, click Shadow Ball. That will eliminate the Natu. Okay, so 4-3 CalmMind75 here. Here's the Diglett trapping this Frillish. Gonna get the KO with a Earthquake. Crit didn't matter at that range, I don't think. Those Diglett doesn't have a Life Orb. Pharaoh Seed switching in here. So Mindfu comes in yet again on the Bullet Seed. Ooh, gets a crit. 4 hits and a crit. High jump kicks in, knock that thing out. We'll take some Iron Barbs here. So Mindfu's low. So we can just regen some of that off later. Here's that Volibee. Maybe looking to get a sweep going here. Gets the Air Slash KO. 2 Pokemon each. Here's the Ghastly for Ambipongus. Gets the T-Bolt KO. How's this gonna play in the end here? Mindfu comes out. And that thing's gonna drop to a crit. Sludge Bomb. Okay. Wow, okay, yeah. I don't really know what more to say here. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would Diglett been able to get the follow-up there? It's kind of Life Orb, right? We didn't see an item from this thing, did we? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm losing all. Okay, anyways, yeah. Big crit at the end there, and Ambipongus moving on to the next round here as CalmMind75 out of the tournament, tragically. And there you have it. So Anyways, round 8 coming up, I think this week here, so be sure to like, subscribe, and all that, and you won't miss any of the Babymonochrome action here. And stay tuned for more Generation 5 Little Cup action. Thanks for watching. Peace.